Did you see like quinceañera dresses, right? Like the big poofy fluffy dresses? Mm-hmm. Imagine having to perform surgery in that.
Like you doing the surgery in your quinceañera?
Yes. Like you are there with a scalpel.
Oh, wow.
And performing the surgery.
You gotta be like...
Yeah. Well, Dr. Mary Edwards Walker did surgery, but she refused to wear the dresses of that day and age because she was like, this is too big and poofy. I don't want to deal with that. So this story's kind of insane. Buckle up. It's crazy. It's really cool. This is your sign to keep watching. Intro.
Cute. Mary Edwards Walker was born on November 26, 1832, in the town of Oswego, New York. She was the fifth of 7 children to her parents, Alva and Vesta Whitcomb Walker. Mary did so many impressive things throughout her life, but it all started with her parents. Unlike most girl parents at the time, Mary's parents were considered abolitionist free thinkers, like they were considered insanely progressive for the time period. Alva and Vesta encouraged their children to literally question everything and even started the first free school in their town just so their daughters could receive the same education as their sons. Mary wore trousers and shirts, so like men's clothes instead of dresses and corsets that women wore at the time, and her parents had absolutely no issues with it. It seems like Alva and Vesta raised their kids regardless of gender in the same way. Like all of the children, girls included, they worked and labored on the farm. Oh, and on top of all of this, her family kept runaway slaves safe as part of the Underground Railroad. That's actually insane because this type of progressiveness was unheard of at the time.
So after finishing their quote-unquote high school education, Mary and 2 of her sisters attended Foley Seminary School, where they studied to become teachers because, like we've mentioned in a lot of our previous episodes, being a teacher was one of the very few respectable professions a woman could have at that time. But despite becoming a teacher, Mary knew that she wanted to become a doctor. She applied to Syracuse Medical School, which was surprisingly open to women. I think it was like one of the first, and graduated as an MD in 1855 and became a surgeon. Shortly after graduating, she married a fellow medical student, Albert Miller, and unfortunately there was quite little love to be had. It's said that at their wedding, Mary refused to wear a wedding dress, and she wore, like, trousers and a skirt rather than a traditional, like, ball gown and all that. Like, like it's not, like, leggings and a skirt. Like, it's literally, like, you're wearing, like, wide leg, flare pants.
Was she wearing, like, a skirt on top of it?
Yes.
Like a short skirt?
No, it was, like, knee-length.
Oh. But the pants were floor-length?
Yes. Yes, they were.
How did they get...
We'll insert a picture here of, like, one of them, but, it was really interesting. On top of that, she refused, so, like, I guess back in the day, there was, like, you have to, like, obey your husband.
Oh, yeah.
Like, wedding vow. Yeah, she said, I'm not doing that in front of everybody at the wedding. And then she said, I'm not taking your last name. I'm keeping my last name. Which I'm also doing, actually. But, at that time, that was crazy. Mm-hmm. So, Mary and Albert moved to Rome, New York, not to be confused with Rome, Italy, and started a private practice. But it, like, totally failed, because, like, as you can imagine, like, most people did not want to be treated by a woman at the time. But that's still wild to me, because imagine being, like, on the verge of death. You're like, oh my god, my arm is cut off. Help me. And then you're like, no, you're a woman, actually. I'll just die, rather.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. But after 2 years of marriage, Mary and Albert separated. Every time I say Albert, I think of my dead cat, whose name was Allie, but then we found out he was a boy, and then we changed his name to Albert.
Rest in peace, Albert.
Sorry. But Albert and Mary separated. So literally after 2 years, they were like, nope, we're not doing this anymore. And then, like, after 10 years, they, like, actually got divorced. And Mary actually accused Albert of infidelity. But this was hot gossip at the time, because, like, people didn't get divorced back then. That was a no-no. Ooh. And she got labeled as an anti-marriage, anti-family heathen. And people are like, she's the town loony.
Cute.
So, my personal speculation... there are some reports where it was like, oh, like Mary like wore like her like dress pant combo. Oh Lord, and she would wear like a feminine hairstyle to like show that she was a woman. But all of the photos I have, she has like a buzz cut.
Oh.
So it's giving
yeah,
fruit basket. Yeah. So I think she may have been for the girls and only for the girls. But that's pure speculation.
Do we know why they got married in the first place?
I have a feeling it was probably because like she was like, I have to do this.
Okay.
Like it was probably like, this is like how things are supposed to be, which is ironic because typically like she was like, I don't care about the rules or anything. But I think this was like one of the things where she was like, rite of passage, I'm supposed to do this, whatever.
Okay.
Maybe she was just using it as a cover. A little beard, if you will.
Then she like got fed up with him.
Yeah.
Alright, this isn't working. Alright. After the separation, Mary stayed in Rome, New York, running her practice and advocating for social reform. She was particularly a fan of Amelia Bloomer, who were pants-style bloomers. Basically, what that means is that instead of skirts, these dress reformers would wear pants underneath a knee-length skirt. This is a crazy combo.
Yeah. So I don't know if she was like wearing, it seems like she was like already doing it.
Yeah.
But like then it became like officially termed bloomers.
Oh, so she was like trendy before it was trendy.
Yeah, yeah. So like Amelia Bloomer, that's where you get the term bloomers from.
That's funny. Mm-hmm. This is actually, again, where bloomers originates from. So now Mary was made fun of publicly for how she dressed. She was seen as some sort of strange oddity, but she was a bad bee and did not care. So in fact, Mary was elected president of the National Dress Reform Association in 1866.
Imagine being like the president of like a style. It's like,
that's so fun. Yeah.
It's like, oh, like I'm president of like the Streetwear Association.
Okay, but she totally deserved it because she was dressing like that before her wedding.
Yeah.
And then it became a thing.
Yeah.
But like not really a thing because people were still hating on it as a thing. But like,
yeah.
Now she gets to be president of the club.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's a national club, also.
My fault. The national president of the bloomers. Okay, cute. Next episode, we're dressing up in bloomers.
We should start a series where we just try and like
we dress up as
the characters and like try and go about our daily lives.
And then you have to guess who we are. Eventually, Mary even stopped wearing the reform dresses and just fully wore male attire. There are even pictures of her with full suit coats and top hats. She was the OG. She was the OG Hey Mamas.
If you don't know what a Hey Mamas is,
to define that for her.
No, I think you could look it up on Urban Dictionary. I'm so sorry, medical school admissions. So in 1860, Mary went to Iowa and briefly attended Bowen Collegiate Institute before being expelled.
Oh.
A, I'm a little bit confused what degree she was going for because she's already a surgeon. B, she got kicked out because she refused to step down from the all-male debate team.
Girl.
Like, it wasn't even like she blew something up. She was just like, I just want to debate. And they were like, no, you're fired.
Oh.
And like kicked her out.
That's insane.
Yeah. So then the Civil War starts in 1861, and Mary, being the progressive bad girl that she is, sided with the Union. We should have all sided with the Union, regardless. But she felt compelled to offer her services in Washington, D.C., like joining the army, thinking like, you know, like they need doctors, people are dying, it's war, like maybe they'll let a woman be a doctor because people are dying. Yeah, that didn't happen. So they were like, sorry, babes, no hot girls allowed. You're not allowed to be a medical officer.
It's funny because they're like, go get a job though.
Yeah. I don't know.
What a time.
They literally had people dying everywhere. They needed help and they didn't let her join because she was a woman. Anyways, continue.
Oh man, I mean the officer would still be like, whoa, 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 not you. Which is messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mary ended up being an unpaid volunteer surgeon anyway. This girl was stubborn in probably the best way possible. She said, you're not gonna let me be a medical officer? Okay, I'm gonna save your people anyway. Kill them with kindness, sort of.
Save them with kindness. Sorry, that was impulsive.
Slow, but not nice. Okay.
Huzzah!
That's just been a long day.
It's been a long day.
In 1862, she worked on the front lines in, Fredericksburg and Chattanooga, taking care of badly wounded soldiers and wearing men's clothing the whole time. Oh my god, it's giving Mulan. Justifying it by saying it. That's the title of our episode. Justifying it by saying it made her job easier to wear men's clothing. I don't think she was like making it up to work in a big poofy dress, like working in a big, oh gosh. Hold on. I don't think she was making it up. Like, having to work in a big poofy dress and corset is actually criminal. It's insane. I don't know how you're supposed to be like running around war grounds in a quinceañera style dress and trying to save people. Like, okay, you're gonna become one of the not alive. Mary stayed petitioning to become a commissioned surgeon as part of the army. Like, she went so far as to appeal directly to the Secretary of War, Mr. Edwin M. Stanton, and President Abraham Lincoln. In 1863, her requests actually worked, and she was granted the title of Contract Acting Assistant Surgeon, Civilian, for the 52nd Ohio Regiment. This means that she was still obviously technically a civilian, and she wasn't a commissioned soldier, but regardless, she is considered the first female U.S. Army surgeon. Yippee!
Yippee! So the nature of Mary's work required her to often cross enemy lines. She was a physician, and her whole purpose was to heal people. It didn't matter if they were Union, Confederate, or civilian. She was literally just meant to heal. So she would go across and just find people who were wounded and help them. Well, unfortunately, while she was in this process, she ended up getting captured by Confederate soldiers and arrested for being a spy. Now, when they captured her, not really sure if they knew she was a woman. Like I said, there's like speculation between whether or not she wore her hair like down like feminine style or she like had it all cut. But if they did know she was a woman, she was like, hey, I'm a doctor. They're not going to believe her. She was a woman.
Yeah.
Especially if it was the Confederacy. Women didn't have rights to the Confederacy.
Women don't wear male pants.
No. But most of what that's mentioned is that she was helping a Confederate doctor perform an amputation. And then the Confederates were like, you're a spy. And so she was actually held a prisoner of war for 4 months at Castle Thunder Prison near Richmond, Virginia. Now, Castle Thunder, like many other prisons during the war, was like grossly overcrowded. And on top of that, Castle Thunder was literally known for extreme like brutality and cruelty, to the point that the Confederate House of Representatives was like, bro, we gotta actually like low-key investigate you because you are really killing soldiers and maiming prisoners, and you're not supposed to do that. You're prisoners of war. So like the Confederate House of Representatives was like, we gotta check you out for being
That's wild.
Too much. And the Confederacy was already too much.
Yeah. While imprisoned, Mary had a rough time. Keeping true to herself, she refused to wear the women's clothes that they gave her and continued to wear men's clothing. But Mary ended up suffering from severe weight loss, bronchitis, and permanent partial blindness. Blindness? Wow.
Yeah.
In August of 1864, Mary, along with other doctors, were released due to a prisoner exchange deal. I'm glad that they cared enough about her to actually get her back. Mary was actually quite proud of the swap. She was traded for a Confederate male surgeon, and she saw this as validation because in her eyes it was man for man. She was eventually granted disability pension due to the muscular atrophy that she developed in prison. I'll at least give it to them that they didn't take that away from her, but they did never give her like actual military pension because she had never actually become a commissioned officer.
So for the remainder of the war, she served at the Louisville Women's Prison Hospital and at an orphan asylum in Clarksville, Tennessee. After the war ended in 1865, she was awarded the Medal of Honor for meritorious service by President Andrew Johnson on November 11th, 1965. Her award read, Dr. Mary E. Walker, quote, has rendered valuable service to the government, and her efforts have been earnest and untiring in a variety of ways, end quote. It makes me really happy that they acknowledged her as a doctor and like not Miss Walker, because like a lot of times during this time period, even if people had degrees and had doctorates, it would always just be Miss So-and-so. And so they actually refer to her as a doctor. It's been said that she's like super proud of her medal, and like I would be too. Like that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Not crazy as in she shouldn't have got it. Crazy like
that she has it.
Yeah, especially at that time period.
Yeah.
And she would wear it like all the time, like every day. She wore it like publicly speaking. She would just like wear it around. It was like her little accessory.
Oh.
Like she said, no jewelry, no girly pop, but my medal, I'll wear my medal.
That's kind of fun.
Sorry, she was awarded this in 1865, and then it got revoked in 1916. Because it was said that like her award wasn't relevant to combat service, and I guess the Medal of Honor is supposed to only go to people for combat service. But actually, it didn't have anything to do with her gender. Like, it was literally just that she didn't have combat service. I don't know if you've heard of like Buffalo Bill. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know who he is, but I saw that he also got his medal revoked because it wasn't relevant to combat service. So it was like 900 dudes who all got their medal revoked.
Because I feel like it could be argued that it like kind of was.
I mean, it helped the soldiers fight.
I don't know.
But she didn't give her medal back. She said, I'm keeping this. But later it got reinstated by President Jimmy Carter in 1977. But sadly, this is 1977. It was actually 1977. But that was after her death. So she died like 2 years after the medal got revoked. She said, no, I'm keeping this. And then it got reinstated like way after she was dead. But to this day, she is still the only woman to receive the Medal of Honor. How are we more progressive in 1865 than we are in 2025?
That's a great question, because we've got a lot of wonderful women on our front lines.
Yeah.
They probably deserve that.
Yeah. No one since her that has been a woman has received that medal. It's fine.
I need to go scream.
Yeah.
So Mary continued to advocate for women's rights after the end of the war. Some of her pursuits included women's suffrage, freedom of marriage and divorce, reduction of tobacco and alcohol use, and more. Honestly, Mary was so progressive for the time that many suffragists were like, no, girl, you're going way too far. Eventually, even the women's rights movement was like, okay, we can't support you anymore, and we must disassociate from you if we want to actually get anything done. And I can see both sides, because change happens slowly. You can't go from 0 to 100 immediately. Women needed to gain their independence slowly in order to be accepted. Which maybe isn't how it should be, but it's unfortunately how it works. So, however, also, like, Mary was right about everything. People just didn't know it at the time. It was interesting because Mary actually disagreed that an amendment was needed to add women's voting rights, not because she didn't think that women shouldn't vote, but because she believed that the Constitution already gave women the right to vote, and Congress just needed to implement that. Not entirely sure where she got that idea from. Maybe she was like, man has the right to vote, and she was like, I am human, and therefore I am, quote unquote man, as in the term of like everyone has the right to vote, but that's just a speculation. Mary did, in fact, try to register to vote in 1871, but she was denied, and she was having absolutely none of that. So she went and testified in front of the U.S. House of Representatives, not just once, but 2 times. She had some balls.
She did have balls. She had balls of steel. Balls the size of Texas. Did you see that some people are trying to take away the 19th Amendment?
No.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a group of people, and they're like, family should vote as a household, but like the man has the final decision.
I think I heard someone like rumoring about that like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Where like
there's like an actual political party that's like,
that's wild. It's very like, shucks, what's the book? I like just
Handmaid's
read it.
Tale?
Yeah.
We are living in the Handmaid's Tale, and if our world ever actually like turns up in the Handmaid's Tale, we will probably get slandered and thrown in jail and become said handmaids. Probably because we're doing this.
Yeah, but I don't know. Record copies of our podcast right now.
Yeah. We will be on the right side of history. Anyways, even late into her life, Mary continued to wear men's clothing. I'm just imagining this like old lady in her 70s just wearing like a top hat. Be like, greetings, darling.
Ma'am.
But one time she was actually arrested in New Orleans for dressing like a man. And she was wearing her top hat during that, and they were like, I don't know what the grounds were for her arrest were. You can't dress like a man.
Ma'am, take the top hat off right now.
Wearing men's clothing is illegal. I thought it was like I don't like how you're dressed. You're being too provocative.
Yeah.
You can't wear pants.
Is it actually illegal?
So I think it was more like they assumed she was homosexual.
Oh.
And homosexuality was actually illegal at the time. And they like manhandled her when they arrested her. They like twisted her arm behind her back. Aww. Which, like, first of all, if you're like, oh, she's a dainty woman, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Because then you're just like, oh, I can treat you like a man if you look like a man. Okay, great, treat me like a man then.
Right, but even that type of brutality is not justified.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't have done that to anyone.
Yeah.
Just for just wearing clothes.
Right, like maybe if you were like running away or like doing...
I don't know, murdered someone?
Exactly. Being like physically violent? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
But for wearing a top hat? Be for real.
But because she got the Medal of Honor when she was brought to the courthouse for
was
like...
she wearing it?
I don't know. I don't know if she was wearing the top hat. I have to assume that she was. Oh, no, not the medal. She wasn't wearing the medal. But she was so, like, famously recognized for getting the medal and being, like, the only woman. The officers of the court immediately recognized her, and they were like, why did you arrest her? Like, what are you doing? And they were like, release her immediately. Like, this is literally a Medal of Honor recipient.
This woman is a hero.
Yeah.
Get.
So... Yeah, but she's famously known for saying, I don't wear men's clothing, I wear my own clothes.
Like, yes, girl.
Yes. Slay, girl boss.
I kind of love her.
Slay, non-gendered boss.
Her choice to wear suits and top hats instead of dresses was a source both of ridicule and spectacle. She was often known as the only woman ever given permission by Congress to appear on the streets or the House at any time. Or
the House is in the House of Representatives, not like a house. Sorry, gotta clarify that.
Thank you. Appear on the streets or the House of Representatives or at any time, any place, or whatever in the garb and habiliments of mere man. Mary's progressiveness continually astounds me and most certainly others of her time period. Eventually, she opened up her home to those who were also ostracized. It's a hard word for me. Harassed. And arrested, not just for conforming to traditional ideas. Despite facing blatant hostility and prejudice, she still earned much respect as a surgeon due to her extensive treatment of soldiers and civilians. On February 21st, 1919, Mary died at the age of 86 from illnesses in her home. She was buried in a black suit alongside her family in her hometown cemetery.
See, I love that because that means her family was like, yes, we're going to support you even in death.
Mm-hmm.
So Dr. Mary Edwards Walker lived a life that refused to fit into any box. She was a Civil War surgeon, a Medal of Honor recipient, a reformer, and a relentless advocate for women's rights at her time when simply wearing pants in public could get you arrested. Her choice, whether stepping onto the battlefield to treat the wounded or standing before Congress to demand equality, were not made to be comfortable. They were made to be right. Walker's legacy reminds us that change rarely comes from following the crowd. It comes from questioning the rules, challenging injustice, and living in a way that aligns with our convictions, even when the world tells us no. What endures is her example: courage in the face of convention, compassion in the face of war, and conviction in the face of doubt. Her life serves as a reminder that resilience outlasts hostility, and we can honor her not just by telling her story with our Stay Very Girl Boss podcast, but living our lives with the same unapologetic bravery that she showed every day in her life, especially in this day and age in 2025. Hee hee. Yippee! Sorry, this was like a weird, like, not science one. I didn't know that when I was writing it. But it's cool. It's historical, and she was a surgeon, so
that's
yay,
science.
medicine.
Science woman in history.
The end.